Listen carefully if you keep a cat at home. Remember, never keep a cat for more than 7 years, or it begins to transform into a spirit. But at my grandfather's house, our black cat had lived for 12 years. One night I stepped outside to pee and saw our big black cat standing on the courtyard wall, bowing again and again toward the moon. At that age, I had no idea this was called a cat's moon ritual. I just found it amusing, leaning against the corner of the wall while peeing and watching her. For just 1 second, I turned my head and the black cat vanished. At that exact moment, even my stream froze in fear. Suddenly, she reappeared on the wall as if nothing had happened and began bowing to the moon again. But perhaps she realized I had seen her. I stood there, frozen, staring at her, when I saw her neck slowly begin to rotate until her entire head turned a full 180 degrees. Her face was no longer that of a cat, but looked exactly like my grandfather's. Sharp fangs protruded from her mouth as if she would swallow me whole. I trembled in terror and ran inside shouting, "Mom, Grandpa's black cat has turned into a spirit. She will eat me." Mom scolded me, saying, "Stop talking nonsense in your sleep." But then she glanced out the window and saw the black cat on the wall with her head twisted backward. She froze for a moment and then screamed so loudly the house shook. She kicked Dad hard and yelled, "Your cat has become a spirit." Dad snapped, "Have you lost your mind?" Mom kept muttering, "Old cat, we have raised you for so many years. If you want to harm someone, harm me, not the children." Dad was irritated at first, but seeing Mom's frightened face, he softened and said, "You must have seen it wrong. Go to sleep if anything happens. Wake me up. We have God in this house too." Mom calmed down a little. Dad lay back down and Mom told me to sleep, but I could not. Then I heard a rustling sound outside, like someone dragging their feet. I lifted my head and saw a hunched shadow moving toward the house. As it came closer, I clearly saw it was our black cat, now walking upright on 2 legs like a human, and that shadow belonged to her. Mom panicked and woke Dad again. When Dad went outside half asleep, the cat had disappeared. Annoyed at being woken repeatedly, Dad grabbed a stick and circled the yard, finding nothing. He returned, saying it must have run away now. "Both of you go to sleep." Suddenly, a painful scream echoed from inside the room. All 3 of us jumped in fear and saw the black cat had entered the room. Dad was startled, but this time anger overtook him, and he swung the stick with full force at the cat. The cat shrieked and fled outside. The next morning, Dad said seriously, "People do not say for no reason that a cat should not be kept longer than 7 years. Our black cat has been here 10 or 12 years now. She must leave on her own." Mom and I stared at him in shock. Dad explained, "There is an old legend that after 7 years, a cat absorbs the warmth of humans and the air of the house and begins a kind of practice. When a human practices, he becomes a sage. But when an animal does it, the animal becomes a spirit. And once a cat becomes a spirit, it starts looking for a new body. If given the chance, it will possess the body of an old or weak person in the house, so it can live a long life as a human. That is why elders say, after 7 years, let the cat leave on its own, or disaster will follow."